Happy Sunday morning, fellow YouTubers. It's a beautiful, beautiful day outside. Hope everyone's doing well. Haven't spoke to you in a while. But, something struck me right now as I was making some breakfast tacos. One of my favorite foods is how good narcissists are at portraying false love. Now, what brought this to mind was mainly thinking about the two most narcissist. When I think back on the relationships I've had, they're almost all narcissists, but really the two most glaring and blatant narcissists that I had relationships with. One only lasted a little bit more than 4 months, and one lasted 3 years. But both of these girls had this one thing. Well, first of all, before I ever really got to know them and got in a relationship with them, I was extremely attracted to them. They were my flavor. If you're going to 31 flavors and you got your favorite go-to, and every now and then you'll try something a little bit this way or a little bit that way, but you always kind of regret it because you know what your flavor is. And both of these girls were exactly what I find the most attractive physically in a woman. So they had that right away. But then through engaging you sexually, and just immediately hitting you so hard with that love bombing that gets you to feel that they recognize the uniqueness in me. We have so much in common. She makes me feel so special. Because they'll just point out certain things that you kind of value in yourself and take pride in. And then they'll give you a lot of this flattery that just makes you feel holier than now. I'm only 5'6", but I felt like I was 6'6", and just so large and in charge, So it's that false perception of love that they get you to buy into. And when they're really, really good at it, I could get a look in a crowded room in a party, let's say, from one of these two girls that I dated, just a look, and it was a pure dopamine hit. Just like I had injected myself with heroin or something. It was that real. It was that not sure if visceral is the appropriate word, but just literally I just took a huge hit off crack cocaine. Because just that one look I would get from across the room, it just, the dopamine and the adrenaline and everything would just hit my bloodstream so hard. And that I thought was love. It had nothing to do with love. Yes, it had to do with physical attraction, but mainly it had to do with all of that convincing me that she saw something in me of value, and she saw my uniqueness like no one else ever had. And she valued the same things. And, so many, it's like they hit every duck in the row, one at a time, to convince you of all the things you need, to where they can just give you a look and you're just satiated with this positive vibrations and dopamine just going to your brain so hard it almost can knock you down. So that's just the one thought that, I got when I was making my tacos about, wow, they are really, really good at what they do. Which then goes back to, it's like there's a recipe, that it's like they all read the same book, and it's a recipe book on how to be able to just get you tied around that pinky finger. It's amazing. It's amazing, but it's not real. But it feels so real, and it feels so good that you keep going back to them, even with this tumultuous relationship, with all these ups and downs. I remember, both of these two females that I mentioned when I opened this video, them demanding to walk home during an argument, The 4-month relationship, that girl was in the middle of the broad daylight, but I mean, it was like 2.5 miles long, and I followed her all the way, holding up traffic on major boulevards, and, would pull up next to her and say, I'm sorry, come on, get back in. Nope. And then the other one, it was more than once, late at night, like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. She's going to walk 1.5 miles home. She was so livid and angry. I'm just a bad match for narcissists, though, because I'm very blunt. Life's too short, I feel like, to tiptoe through the tulips and to mess around with vernacular and, use flattery. And I just kind of always got no filter. I just kind of say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And I'm in love with truth. So if there's something that this person's unaware of, either purposefully or accidentally, I want to kind of bring that truth to the forefront of their awareness so that they can operate appropriately, make the adjustments if necessary. And that's one thing difference between narcissists and, empathic people is, empathic people are always open to the truth. Yeah, it might be hard at first, and you might step back when you first have someone tell you something that's true, that is good. Medicine's often bitter, is good for you to hear. But at first you might have a little bit of a kind of a pull back, but then you appreciate it because it's like, you know what, after I thought about what you said, other people have told me that in the past. And it is one of my Achilles heels, one of my downfalls. Thank you for being so honest with me and trusting the strength of this relationship. But narcissists, they never, ever want to hear that. They never want to hear something incongruent with that facade and that perception they have of themselves, that they are little gods and they're perfect and pretty much no one's better than them. Which always kind of confused me. How did two narcissists end up making things work? When they're both demanding that God role. My brother is, they're both malignant narcissists. And my mother, that's covert, would always try to convince me how much they argued at night. That every night it's like World War III. And it's like, how do you even know that? You're not there. You're not a fly on the wall. But once again, these narcissists, they think they can think other people's thoughts and know what's going through their head. Yeah, how do two narcissists get along? It's amazing. But hope that resonated with someone out there. If you did, please consider subscribing, hit like or dislike. God bless you all. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. We got 5 months ahead of us of just beautiful weather. We're so blessed to be on this beautiful, beautiful earth. It's really God's tapestry. It's his love for us that got him to create such a beautiful, beautiful place and give us the gift of these wonderful, wonderful animals all around us. So on that note, God bless. Hit like or dislike, and I'll talk to you later.